Out of control.
He's the fucking problem.
And now he's the solution.
D, something's up.
He's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Guys, what it is, what it do, it's your boy Caped Informer back in the building to wrap up this insane season finale of Power Book Part 2, Ghost. Heart of Darkness was the title of this episode, and after its conclusion, I think we can all agree to why it was called that. Our boy Tariq has been fully engulfed by the dark side. We, as well as the show, has always said that Tariq was just like his daddy, and this episode definitely made that clear and abundant. And the funniest thing is that he embraces it by the end of the episode by saying that he one day wants to be able to earn the name Ghost. Anyways, we're going to get to all of that and more, but please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, because even though we've wrapped up Ghost, I'm definitely tuning in to Power Book Part 3, Raising Kanan, and you can catch the reviews here first. So we kick off this episode with Monet taking care of business with her old associate Rico. If you thought she was going to let that whole shootout at her bar, which resulted in one of her sons getting shot, slide, you were dead wrong. She put a bullet in that dude Rico's head for penance. This actually surprised me. This actually felt like a Kane kind of move, which I guess explains where he gets it from. Lorenzo even scolds her for making that move, despite her claiming she covered her tracks or whatever. Lorenzo is a lot more concerned with the inevitable blowback and wants to prepare for that war by getting Kane back on board, which Monet isn't with. The boy's been off his leash for a while now, and Monet can't trust him, and it's even worse than she even knows right now, because she doesn't know that Kane iced Ramirez yet, which is why she hasn't been able to get in contact with him. This and more is all unbeknownst to Lorenzo. However, he does vaguely catch on to the fact that Ramirez and Monet have been boning while he's been in prison, which I guess doesn't even matter right now, since the dirty cop is swimming with the fishes in some random lake that Kane left him in. That boy Kane is just acting without thinking this entire episode. The Ramirez body dump looks so sloppy. He was literally about to dump his body with his phone still on him, and he only noticed it because Monet was calling him. He takes out the SIM card, chews it, and spits it out right in the same vicinity where he plans on dumping Ramirez. I think we were all giving Kane too much credit from the start of the show. The only reason he isn't in the pen with his daddy right now is because he had Monet to give him proper directions. Anyways, he later tries to gain some sympathy from visiting Drew in the hospital, and that didn't go as planned either. He's turned his back on Kane as well and advises him to get out of town before Monet realizes he killed Ramirez, which she does, and corners him back in his little trap house while he was in the middle of clapping some cheeks. His dumbass ends up admitting to killing Ramirez by referring to him in the past tense, and he immediately goes into victim mode, blaming this all on Tariq. Monet once again tells him to stay away from the family and Tariq, and that she can't trust him. So Tariq's life is clearly in some danger per usual, but he also has a bunch of other things to worry about when he goes to testify on his mother's trial. Being the clever son of James St. Patrick that he is, he's able to expose Sachs while he's on the stand, which inevitably pushes the US attorney to make a deal with Tasha that gets her released from prison and put into witness protection, which she will definitely need since they're asking her to claim that Tommy killed Ghost and not her. And man, did I forget how fast Mr. Egan could work. Literally the next day, we see Tommy trying to cancel Christmas on Tasha when she goes to meet with Monet to ask her to release her son from the business. I really didn't think they were going to bring this man back for the show, but here he was and not missing a beat. And no, I don't think this is some kind of clue that Ghost can be alive somewhere too. I'm pretty confident that man is well under the ground. Tommy even admits it when he said that Tariq knows that he killed his own father.
Don't call me Uncle Tommy. We stopped being family when you offed your old man.
Either way, that's a whole other issue that Tariq needs to face head on, which he does when he finds him going to visit Cash, which I guess he's still looking out for. Tommy tells Tariq straight up that he's going to kill his mother for snitching on him, but Tariq has a plan that can get everyone what they want.
Listen, you kill my mother, that's not gonna solve your problems. It'll only make them worse, I promise that.
Davis McLean lets Sachs know that Tommy is back in town, which prompts him to coordinate a sting operation. They bait him out by using Tasha, and after a lengthy car chase, they find Tommy's car, or what they thought was Tommy's car in flames. I'm not sure if they even went to check if there was a body or remnants of a body, but according to the US attorney, Tommy Egan is now dead. Phase 1 of Tariq's plan is now done, and to commence phase 2, he's got to meet with Professor Jabari, who he's made a deal with earlier in the show to get half of his advance on his book. They meet in a park, and instead of just giving Tariq the money and fading into the darkness, he keeps asking questions about the dead GTG dude. Kane, of course, was spying on them and shoots Jabari before aiming the gun at Tariq. He thinks he's finally found undeniable proof that Tariq is a snitch and thinks this may be his way back into the family. Tariq is able to finesse his way out of this by talking Kane down and explaining to him how they can both get out of this and how he can help clean up his murder of Ramirez. The only catch is that he has to finish off Jabari, which he does since his nosy ass couldn't just stay out of his business. You see, this would have happened to Professor Milgram too if Monet didn't check her in the last episode. Instead of prying back into the case, she ends up giving Zeke some more cheeks to help keep him from blabbing his mouth to his family, even though I'm pretty sure she's over his lame ass already. Anyways, phase 2 is complete. Phase 3 involves him and Tasha to go on the run, or at least Tasha thinks that. Tommy calls Tariq to confirm the plan, and I'm sure Tariq isn't believing a word Tommy is saying about leaving town. Either way, Tariq meets with Tasha at his father's grave, and instead of just running away with her, he sets Tasha up to go into witness protection without him. You can tell that even though Tariq has crossed to the dark side, he still has love for his mother and wants to avoid any of his actions blowing back on her, and this was the only way to ensure that. And on top of that, she was lucky he did that, because Tommy was seconds away from popping her right at the graves of her ex-husband and daughter. Frustrated by Tariq's ingenuity, he grabs him up and threatens to kill him instead, but is saved right in the nick of time by Monet, the only other person on the show I trust to go toe-to-toe with Tommy. They get him to back down for now, and he's able to pay back what he owes Monet to keep her off his back. Part of me really wishes that Tommy showed up when Tariq was talking with Kane. Kane and Tommy matchup would be all the show needed. Tariq ends the episode by quoting "Ghosts Never Die, we fade to black," and that ends the first season of Power Book Part 2. It's implied that he still may be working with Monet since he leaves with her and the family, so I guess that means he's still in the game for a possible season 2. Some honorable mention events in this episode would include seeing McLean offer Sax a job to work for him, which she seemingly accepts. The GTG death at Stansfield hasn't been wrapped, and when Milgram realizes Jabari was murdered, it might push her over the edge to confess what she knows to the feds. Final conclusion: this finale was a worthy wrap-up, and I'm glad they saved bringing Tommy back for this episode. This show wasn't a sequel to Power, it was its own show, and I think it was a worthy spin-off. I wasn't confident at first that Michael Rainey Jr. could lead a series on his own, but I sure was wrong. The young dude stepped up to the plate, and I can see him one day portraying a character worthy of the name Ghost. I'm not sure if a season 2 was announced yet, but I'm fully on board for one. Guys, leave me your thoughts on this finale in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys all for Power Book Part 3, Raising Kanan, this summer.